Thank you all for being here for the State of the County address. We know that September can be a busy month, so your willingness to be here and to spend your night with us is so appreciated. I'd like to thank our MC, Councillor Neil Como, who serves on the Board of Directors for the Federation of Canadian Municipalities and chairs the Rural Forum. And that's a pretty big deal, so thank you, Neil. I'm Mayor Hnatiw, and it's my honor and privilege to stand before you tonight to discuss our future. But first, I want to acknowledge that our home is on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional homelands of Alexander and Michelle First Nations and the Métis Nation of Alberta Region 4. We are all treaty people, and we love and cherish this place that we call home and the land that provides for us. It's a place where our families, friends, and other relations live and grow. And we commit ourselves to continually becoming better treaty people so that this place and those we love continue to thrive as long as the sun shines, the grass grows, and the rivers flow. This community has deep roots, and our connection to it is essential to the work we do as elected officials and as municipal government. In our role, Council has the great privilege of connecting with community members on a regular basis. These connections help make sure that our actions and Council's decisions represent the needs of our residents. And this is why we've decided to host this event here in the community, paired it with an open house. After my remarks tonight, I invite you to stay for the open house. We have council members and staff from many county departments ready to answer your questions and to share information with you about our work. And let me tell you, there is a lot to share. Sturgeon County is a place of ambition. We believe in leading, not being led, and we have big ideas, as do the people and the businesses that call Sturgeon County home. We are a place of innovation. The jobs of the future live here, and we are seeing that today with the advancements in hydrogen, carbon capture utilization and storage, renewable energy, and the innovative businesses that call places like Villeneuve Airport and Alberta's industrial heartland home. We are a place of opportunity. We start things here, and we are never satisfied with the status quo. Our successes over the past year, as well as our plans for the future, demonstrate this, and I'm looking forward to sharing some updates with you. Our number one job as elected officials is ensuring Sturgeon County's long-term financial sustainability. This is a complex and sometimes difficult undertaking that requires a lot of strategic thinking and an all-hands-on-deck approach. Like in our own households, where we carefully budget and make plans to set ourselves and our families up for a successful future, Sturgeon County is doing the very same thing. We are considering what needs to happen today in order to be ready for tomorrow. And we're deeply committed to building a bright future for our residents and our businesses and other community members. So much so that being future ready is a strategic principle that guides our work. We demonstrate this in our actions and in our strategic plan, which showcases our priorities and key projects. And this plan was guided by our collective vision. This vision wasn't forged in boardrooms. It was nurtured in conversations with you, with community members. It sets the tone for how we overcome challenges. Challenges like inflation, rising cost of living, managing growth, securing sustainable revenue and reliable funding, managing increased responsibilities being downloaded by other orders of government, and pressure to keep municipal taxes affordable. We are balancing current needs and financial responsibilities and working hard to deliver the projects and the services that you rely on. We're committed to planned growth. This includes reliable infrastructure, modern technology, and a focus on attracting and nurturing diverse businesses. So if one sector has adverse effects, we are insulated from broad negative outcomes. We want to ensure our communities aren't just places to live, but places to thrive, with safe neighborhoods and natural spaces where our families can flourish. We are guided by environmental stewardship. It's about cleaner air, healthier lands, safe water, and reducing our carbon footprint. We believe in collaborative governance, which means connecting with you, with Indigenous communities, with our neighboring municipalities, and with everyone who shares a vision for a better county. The last community outcome is operational excellence, and this is our pledge to you and means that we deliver services that meet your needs, with cost effectiveness and quality in mind. We show up to work with our hearts and our minds set on doing our best. And we don't get it right 100% of the time, because we're human, but I know that we are giving it our very best effort. I've mentioned the importance of connection, and we can't talk about connection without recognizing the physical infrastructure we need to connect to and with one another. As the county grows, our transportation needs change, and we need to plan for this growth and how we will build and maintain our roads. Having reliable, effective infrastructure is essential to our community. Our people and our businesses rely on it, and this is why it continues to be our largest budget item. The county uses a multi-year capital budget where we identify future projects and expenses. 70% of this budget, at $82 million, goes towards infrastructure like roads, bridges, and drainage. With that investment, we'll upgrade more than 65 kilometers of road and maintain hundreds of kilometers of roadway. These road projects are in each division and involve both gravel and paved surfaces. We also plan to replace 13 bridges over the next 2 years. We've seen tremendous improvements to our roads in the last year. One of the most significant improvements was to Meadowview Drive and Cunningham Bridge. Meadowview Drive was built in the early 1900s, and it had a clay and tree base with minimal ditches and few drainage culverts, and this caused annual heaving and pothole problems. This critical connector between two major communities in Sturgeon County is traveled by nearly 1,200 vehicles each day. So we invested more than $16 million to improve the road's design, drainage, and safety. This work also included extensive repairs on the Cunningham Bridge, a 65-year-old two-span girder bridge. And this work has extended the bridge's life for at least 25 more years. This is just a small glimpse of the many road projects worked on this year. And while we're making progress on the roads that we own, we know we must continue our efforts to maintain and enhance infrastructure and ask the province to do the same for the roads that they own. An example of a much-needed enhancement is the Vinca Bridge. There are long-standing safety concerns with this bridge, which was built more than 55 years ago. It's a critical piece of infrastructure which connects to Alberta's industrial heartland and helps move goods and services to and from the region. As a result of advocating for this investment alongside the Alberta's Industrial Heartland Association, the provincial government pledged $60.5 million over 3 years to replace the bridge, and we look forward to them following through on this very important commitment. As we work to maintain our roadway connection, we must also improve our access to the Internet of Things. Unfortunately, we did not see provincial or federal funds pledged for broadband despite our extensive advocacy. A lack of internet access is particularly challenging in low-density areas like rural and Indigenous communities. And I've met with several ministers at the provincial and federal levels, as well as being a witness to the Senate Finance Committee to advocate for the county and rural communities to get our fair share of grant funding so that we can make it more accessible to our residents. When you think about being connected and future ready, this is it. High-speed, reliable internet is critical. It helps us to do our work, access education, support our health, and contribute to the economy. In the Edmonton region alone, universal access to broadband could add up to $1 billion of gross domestic product. With this in mind, we invested more than $7.5 million to deliver high-speed internet to nearly 1,000 residents and businesses in the southwest portion of the county. We expect to wrap up the first phase of our broadband strategy by the end of the year. Sturgeon County's approach is unique in the province. By combining our investment with Canadian Fibre Optics Corporation, we were able to partner in a shared risk, shared reward model. Although we've done a lot of work, there is more work to get done to get everyone connected to high-speed internet. And I know that many were disappointed that their properties were not able to be connected. But trust me, we did the very best we could with the resources that we had. During the open house, we encourage you to speak to our broadband team to see how you can weigh in on a survey that will help inform Council's future decisions related to extending internet access in the community and understanding how you can add your voice to ours for federal and provincial help in changing policy and funding support. We've talked about the investment to bring high-speed internet into our communities, and now I want to talk about the resources it takes to offer recreation services. These are services that our families, our seniors, young people, and others access for valuable health and social benefits that recreation provides. No matter where you live in Sturgeon County, you have access to recreation services both due to partnerships or through our own offerings. We pay nearly $3 million each year to other municipalities for residents to have access to facilities in the towns of Morinville, Bon Accord, Legal, Gibbons, Redwater, and the City of St. Albert, along with Canadian Forces Base. We maintain more than 15 kilometers of paved trails and more than 10 kilometers of gravel trails that can be enjoyed throughout the year, with winter additions like cross-country skiing along the Sturgeon River or skating on the ribbon at Cardiff Park. These are places of connection, and we are committed to improving them and increasing your access to them, along with improving our river access. In the next 3 years, we are investing more than $5 million to build, maintain, and grow our parks, trails, and playgrounds. Trails like Valor Trail. This was done in partnership with the Edmonton Garrison and connects our 5-kilometer pathway in the county to the existing Garrison Trail and to the north side of Edmonton. And this enhances safety for pedestrians and cyclists and helps our communities stay connected. In 2022, we asked the public what their priorities were for our park spaces, and we're in the process of implementing some of those upgrades. This year, we replaced 3 playgrounds, 1 in each Cardiff Park, Bristol Oaks, and Crestview Heights. And we're also looking forward to building a nature-inspired playground in Belrose Park. We're also working closely with other communities to replace their neighborhood playgrounds. Our dedication to spaces and places for gathering extends to our four-legged friends too. This year, we created a dedicated off-leash park in Belrose Park and are working on another one in Cardiff Park. In addition to the playground replacement and dog park in Cardiff Park, we also upgraded the washrooms and are working on a new volleyball court and an additional picnic shelter. Cardiff Park, as I'm sure many of you know, is one of the natural areas that people from Sturgeon County and beyond know and love. It was the setting for this year's 2-day County Bounty event in July. In spite of a heavy blanket of wildfire smoke, the event was a tremendous success, drawing in thousands of attendees. The event supports local businesses and had local entertainment, food, and family-friendly fun. It was a great way for the community to connect with one another and to enjoy one of our favorite wide-open spaces. County Bounty is always the best way to wrap up our Agriculture Service Board tour. If you've never been on the ASB tour, be sure to sign up for next year. I spoke earlier about our goal to build thriving communities, and our communities can't thrive unless they're safe. We are pleased to have groups working alongside us to help foster a safer community. Groups like the Sturgeon Rural Crime Watch Association, who serve as the eyes and ears for the RCMP. They are making a difference by promoting crime prevention and reporting suspicious activity. Groups like Sturgeon Victim Services, which works alongside the RCMP to support victims of crime. We wish we didn't need these services, but we do. Crime in rural Alberta is a real problem, and it's something our community needs to tackle together. So please consider joining and supporting these organizations. When I think thriving communities, to me, this also means a thriving agriculture sector. While we are grateful for our fertile soil, our agricultural way of life is due to our committed and innovative producers. A lot of our history is tied to agriculture, and our reputation as an agricultural powerhouse brings us a great sense of pride. We recognize the important role producers have for global food security, and that is why we're so excited to move forward with an agriculture master plan. This plan will help us set a vision and a comprehensive strategy specific to the ag sector. It will consider all previous efforts by Sturgeon County, including the most recently to support agribusiness and agritourism, so the agricultural sector can continue to grow and thrive. We are in the early stages of this project, and we'll be looking to our producers to help us shape the future of agriculture and help us identify how we can best support that future. Another way we're demonstrating environmental stewardship is through the Clean Energy Improvement Program. And I am proud to say that Sturgeon County is so far the only county in Alberta offering this program. It's a new financial tool that helps property owners with the upfront costs of energy efficient and renewable energy upgrades. This is for things like solar panels, improved heating appliances, enhanced doors and windows, and more. Our residents can take advantage of a below-market interest rate and convenient repayment through their property taxes. This program helps residents reduce their energy demands, so ultimately they can lower their utility bills. We know the cost of energy is a strain to many homeowners, so we are proud to offer a program that can reduce these costs. I just alluded again to the economic impacts many of our residents are facing. And I want you to know that I and other council members recognize the impacts that high inflation and increasing costs of living are having in the community. And we consider this when we're setting the budget. As we head into the 2024 budget cycle, rest assured, the county is keenly aware of how residents are feeling. I encourage you to review our service plans and budgets and share your input with your councillor, as work is already underway to set next year's priorities. We are blessed to have Alberta's industrial heartland in our boundaries. The Heartland is the world's most attractive location for chemical, petrochemical, oil and gas investment. It's also Canada's largest hydrocarbon processing cluster. There's more than $45 billion in existing capital investment and more than 40 companies in the Heartland that provide fuels, fertilizers, power, petrochemicals, and more to the provincial and global consumers. The Heartland is poised to attract more than $30 billion in new capital investment by 2030. Innovative companies like Wolf, Pembina, IPL, and CanDo have multiple expansions either underway or recently completed. It is through Alberta's industrial heartland that Sturgeon County receives millions in non-residential tax revenue. This is our community's primary revenue source. With this tax revenue, we fund our community programs and ensure that there are full-time firefighters. We use this revenue to build and fix our roads, to make sure that there is safe and reliable access to drinking water, and to allow us to develop new trails, recreation opportunities, and social programming too. Our council continues to prioritize the Heartland and make it a desirable place for global investors. One way we've done this is by offering incentive programs that make it as affordable for companies to set up in Sturgeon County as it is for them to take their business to the American South, where some of our biggest competition is located. Another way that we're attracting industry is by ensuring that we have safe and reliable infrastructure systems in place, including access to water. One of our strategic projects is focused on making sure that businesses coming to the Heartland have certainty that they need regarding water access. We are working with regional partners and the province to build a future water intake in the area. This process can take many years to finalize, but achieving this water intake will make us more competitive and increase the likelihood of final investment decisions landing in Sturgeon County. Many of you know that Sturgeon County is an advocate for the advancement of the hydrogen industry. an industry that by 2050 is expected to be up to $11 trillion global industry. Hydrogen is a low-carbon energy source that is cost competitive with other energy solutions and plays a significant role in the clean energy evolution. At the community level, adopting hydrogen in municipal operations will help us meet our goals in reducing our emissions, keeping operations affordable, and provide innovative solutions for our community. Another innovation is waste to resource. Using this approach, we can reduce raw waste volume in a largely environmentally friendly way while creating a considerable amount of clean energy for other uses. The county is planning an approach that will divert garbage from the landfill and instead use it to create a usable resource. I am so pleased to share that to date, we have engaged 13 other regional municipalities, including Indigenous nations, to work toward achieving this goal. You may have also heard about our advocacy for the Villeneuve Airport. This regional asset is critical to the future sustainability of Sturgeon County. Development in this area will have a generational impact through job creation, diversification of the local economy, and attraction of much-needed talent in the area of aviation and aerospace, among others. We engaged experts in the field of aerospace and aviation development and learned that if we leverage this asset, we can unlock billions of dollars in smart new development in the coming decades. Development that will create more than 1,700 jobs that our community needs. Since Sturgeon County already has significant rail and road access, the Villeneuve Airport finalizes the trifecta of multimodal transportation needs. And again, this is how we get industry and business to make their new homes in Sturgeon County. We are excited to share that as of very recently, our development plan for the area has finally been approved by the Regional Growth Board. This step provides us with the certainty that there is a bright future here. The plans for the Villeneuve Airport area represent our commitment to planned growth. So do our plans for the Sturgeon Valley area. We are planning for extensive growth and building new residential areas south of the existing Sturgeon Valley between the cities of St. Albert and Edmonton. Over the decades to come, we will see new housing options, new employment areas, new community services, new recreation opportunities, and more. And while the Edmonton Metropolitan Region Board has set the growth framework for this area, we are building unique communities that we can be proud of and that reflect input from residents and community members. The area will be a place where residents can enjoy a healthy, affordable, and connected lifestyle. Complementary, but definitely unique compared to our urban neighbors. Sturgeon County is working through the concept of integrating clean energy and fueling solutions into our plans, as well as low-impact design. This will position Sturgeon County as an innovator that prioritizes livability and land stewardship. We encourage you to stay engaged in this long-term development process and to weigh in on applications in the years to come as we build communities together. The topic of engagement and participation in government is something I've been thinking a lot about lately. I've noticed a real shift in the tone towards elected officials in government administration, and at times, public discourse has been very concerning. We've been challenged with misinformation and disinformation about our motives and decisions, particularly as it relates to land use matters. We know the decisions we make matter to residents because we are residents. We've lived here long before we were elected to council, and we will continue to live here following our terms of public service. We have public council meetings, and while the timing may not be convenient for everyone, the public has options to provide input, such as through written submissions or through online virtual participation. We also host information sessions and open houses so that you can ask questions and provide feedback. And when there's mutual respect and a mutual desire To build safe and welcoming communities, we will strengthen the fabric of our community enough to weather the inevitable storms that life brings our way. We want to continue engaging with you and hearing from you on the things that matter most to you. Members of council are always a phone call, a text, or an email away and are happy to meet in person if that's your preference. We are working to improve access to engagement by creating an online portal that makes it easier for people to provide input on topics that interest them when it's convenient for them. We also have an app that's convenient to use, so be sure to ask for a demonstration during the open house if you'd like to know more about that. We value public input and know that when we work together, we can find collaborative solutions for our ambitious goals. Joining a council committee is a great way to have a say, to share your passion and contribute to the growth and prosperity of our vibrant community. It isn't just about meetings, it's about influencing policies that make sure we remain a great place to live, work, and play. I want to give you an idea of how some of these boards and committees impact our community. We have 3 public members on the Calahoo Villeneuve Sand and Gravel Advisory Committee and 6 public members on the Community Services Advisory Board. Together, these members helped award more than $620,000 to 29 organizations this year, thanks to the cap levy paid by resource extraction in the county. These funds help improve playgrounds, fund community supports, engage and upgrade community halls, and add new features to our arenas. We truly value our board and committee members, and their input is considered when making important decisions that shape our community. And members are paid for their time. We're actively recruiting 14 people to serve on a variety of boards and committees. I encourage you to speak with staff here at the open house about these important opportunities. I want to thank all community members who serve or have served on one of our boards and committees for your commitment and dedication to improving our community. I also want to thank all of you again for being here to hear about our success and our bold plans for the future. Thank you.